My beautiful folks, what is up and how are you doing? This is Valentine the Plug, and in this video I'm gonna show y'all how you can turn this chord progression into this chord progression. Let's go. Beautiful folks, I'm happy to have you with me in FL Studio, and I'm gonna demo 5 techniques you can use to turn this chord progression into this chord progression. And it's really simple. I'm gonna tell you beforehand. What I basically did is I extended my chords, I inverted my chords, I altered my chords, I used passing chords, and I introduced a little tension. And that's the techniques I'm gonna be breaking down in this video. This technique is the most elementary technique, and you've probably already heard of it. Better yet, I think that you already know a lot of the techniques, but if you're familiar, consider this video a little refresher course. So one of the most basic techniques, you can already see it here, is basically just extending your chords. We know that chords are basically just a collection of triads. Basically 3-note chords are called a triad, but what happens if we add another minor or a major third? Then we get a 7th chord, and a 7th chord is a lot more expressive than a regular triad that you're working with. That's a very important technique, and you can see it actually in this chord progression. Most of the chords are 7th chords, they are extended chords. Now you can go ahead and extend them all the way up until a 13, for example. So here we got a 7, I added this minor third, that makes it a 9th. Let me add this major third, that makes it a 13th. And you can just keep extending them and extending them just to make your chords a lot more expressive. So extend your chords using minor or major thirds. Inverting your chords is a very important part of my arsenal. So let's just take this A minor 7 right here. You can see that I took the 5th and the 7th and I knocked them down an entire octave, placing them underneath the C sharp and the A sharp. And that makes your chord just sound fundamentally different. Listen to this. It really helps you distinguish between the sound, and it definitely gets another sound. I feel that this way it sounds a lot more deeper, a lot more emotional. So inverting your chords, whether it's triads, 7 chords, 9th chords, 11th chords, is a very important technique. You know, I can even take the C sharp and knock it down even further if I want to. So keep on inverting those chords, y'all. Right, so let me take y'all on a cool little detour. Chord extensions and chord inversions are part of a larger technique called chord voicings. And basically, you see piano players do that a lot. They might voice a chord by playing 1/2 in their left hand, the bass notes, and 1/2 in their right hand, more the mid notes and the higher up notes. And that's actually something we can do in our piano roll as well. I could knock this C sharp up if I really wanted to, and perhaps even just duplicate it as if it's being played with my left hand and both my right hand. There's tons of freedom in the piano roll. Use it. Alright, so passing chords. I'm gonna keep it real quick. I already recently did a video on passing chords, which you can check out right here. But let me just explain it real quick. So I know that I want to go from this F minor 7 to this inverted A sharp minor 7, right? And I just want to add a little step between to make the jump a lot more sweeter. It basically gives me a softer landing or a more elegant landing, like I'm a figure skater or something like that. And that's what I achieved with this F dominant 7 flat 9. It adds a lot more tension. It makes it a lot more cool. So if I were to do it without it, it would sound like this. Hold on. Okay, y'all heard it in the other pattern, but hold on, let me just mute the other pattern. Cool. And this is with the F dominant 7 flat 9. Ooh, that's what you want. Passing chords. Go and check out the vid, beautiful people. Alright, so let me spit some game about altered chords a little bit. So this chord doesn't seem right? Because it's supposed to be a regular D sharp minor 7. But what I did, I took this 5th, this A sharp, and I pitched it up 1 semitone, turning it into a D sharp minor 7 with a sharp 5. And that works because we want to introduce a little bit of tension. So we're tackling two things. We're introducing tension because, you know, it sounds a lot less harmonious. The landing is a lot less comfortable with this sharp 5, but it creates that tension that is so quintessential for R&B. So altering your chords is very important. You can do the same, say with a major chord, you can turn it into a sharp 5 or a flat 5, whatever you really need. But you can also do it with your dominant chords, because this is a dominant 7 flat 9. This is what a dominant 7 or what a dominant 9 is supposed to sound like. But a dominant 7 with a flat 9 is such an amazing passing chord. So that's basically it. And another cool way to introduce tension is by using a diminished chord like this right here. Beautiful. And another thing I want to add, tension is easily achieved by looking at the intervals between your notes. See, I see right here that these two are just one semitone apart, and that's super tense, super dissonant, because we know that, say, an interval from this to this sounds super pleasant, but from this to this is like, ooh, there's something going on. But if you use that carefully in your R&B beats, say with like a chord progression like this, where there's like only half step distance between the C sharp and the C and the root note, the F sharp and the F, it's amazing, beautiful folks. So if we look at this chord progression and we see how it turned out just by using chord inversions, just by using chord extensions, just by using passing chords, by altering your chords and introducing tension, that's how you get that quintessential R&B sound. And that is not done in a day, beautiful people. You gotta practice, But if you know what you're practicing, you'll be a lot more deliberate and you'll be a lot more efficient in your practice. So with that being said, beautiful folks, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope this video was useful to you, and I am curious to see what kind of dope R&Bs y'all gonna be cooking up with this knowledge. Y'all be easy. Peace.